I don't know if you're an email marketer. I don't know if you need to write emails for your business. If you own an e-commerce brand, I don't care. All I know is that you clicked on this video and I'm gonna show you exactly what my welcome sequence looks like. And this is not just any regular welcome sequence. This is a welcome sequence that actually sells and it is easy to write. So let's not waste any time and let's get straight into it. So first of all, the first thing I'm gonna say is that besides the first email, it's a total of 4 emails. And these are emails that sell. Why do I say that? Because before adding them to my welcome sequence, I actually tested them. And they've already brought in sales. So I know these emails sell. So let me show you, let's start, alright, first of all, with the welcome email. Now the thing with the welcome email that I like to do is I don't want it to sound like anyone else. A lot of people make this welcome email, hey, welcome, I'm so happy to have you here, get on, let's onboard in this amazing journey. Like, nobody wants to read that. It's boring. So I think my philosophy with the welcome emails is always, I want to hook the reader and get him to read as much as my stuff as fast as possible while he's hooked. Okay, because if he joined my email list, he's hooked right now. He wants to read my emails now. He doesn't want to wait next week. He doesn't want to wait till I send out the next email. So that's, for me, the philosophy of the email sequence. Now, starting from the first email, there is a classic welcome email. And it starts with something, the beginning, like the hook, should be something about sort of your brand voice, okay? In my case, like, look, I start with, hey, first name, NGL, not gonna lie. Like, I say not gonna lie because I am 19 years old and I have my students or my target audience are young people and I talk like that. So I say not gonna lie. But if you need to change that based on the actual voice of your brand. Me, personally, I write the same way I talk. So when you're gonna hear me reading through my emails, if you close your eyes, my goal is that you don't even understand I'm reading. You think I'm just talking normally. So that is how I write my email, and that is how I also invite you to write your copy or write copy for your client. If you're writing for them, you need to understand their brand voice before writing. Listen, get on a call with them, talk with them a lot before writing the email. But that said, let's get into the welcome email, okay? So, hey, first name. Not gonna lie, I have no idea how you ended up here. I don't know if you joined my Discord server, signed up for my lead magnet, or hacked my ESP, email service provider. But chances are you liked my content and decided to go a bit deeper. So, congratulations. You're finally part of my email list. Now, let me tell you what you should expect. No nerdy, boring-ass copywriting emails repeating what's already on YouTube or you can find in a book. My emails are not for everyone. Not everyone likes my humorism, my style, or what I stand for, but if you do, chances are we'll become good friends. You'll find value, not just in what I say, but in how I say it. You learn the unspoken lessons I learned in the past 2 years of copywriting and traveling the world. I don't talk about this stuff on YouTube. This makes it sound exclusive. I'm not always consistent. Sometimes I send you 3 emails a week and sometimes 7. If I don't have anything interesting to share, I won't bother you. This makes them think that everything I share is worth reading. I'm not scared of promoting my stuff. So don't get triggered if you see me promoting my products. Don't hate the game or the player. Learn how to play. Here I'm just justifying why I'm going to sell them in my emails. I see all the replies, so if you ever want to show appreciation or have any question, go ahead and reply. Don't send me a copy to review, I won't do it. I'm setting boundaries right here. So you can do a similar bullet list with sort of the rules of your email list. And people are going to appreciate that. People are going to appreciate that. Are going to appreciate if you are upfront also in everything you say. And like if you actually, before selling them, you tell them, hey, I'm going to sell you. Just be aware of it. If it's not fine with you, out of the list. You don't want people who don't want to buy in your list. So it's fine to get them out. I think my goal for now with my email list personally is going to be to have less people, higher quality. So I'm going to start setting some automations about if they don't open the emails, if they don't click the links, if they don't do any of that, they're out. I'm going to start doing some of that because I don't care. Like there's no point for me in sending out emails to 5,000 people if I can send it to 2,000 and making more sales. You know? So this is the point with this, setting boundaries and rules for email list and expectations. All trying to do it in a cool way, in an original way, with your brand voice. For example here, no nerdy, boring-ass copywriting emails. Like, I say something like that, but most people don't. So you need to understand where your brand voice stands. Now, so if that's fine with you, I decided to skip the boring get-to-know-me welcome sequence, and I thought of doing something cool. I've put together the last few emails I sent to my email list in a sequence. The way you can catch up with what I've been sending lately. So you can either wait 24 hours and I'll send it to you, or you can click the button below to travel in time and receive the next email immediately. Your choice. I will travel, it's cool, haha. Welcome email. Welcome again. Ba-bam. So here, notice how I did something original. This is an idea that I got from Daniel Throssell. So if you want to know more about the parallel welcome sequence, you can check him out. But this is not really a parallel welcome sequence. So all I'm doing here, my philosophy here, that also he explains, is that when someone is hooked and wants to read more of your emails, wants to get straight to the first one, why would you get them to wait 2-3 days before receiving your next email when he's already forgotten of you? Now is the time to get them closer to the sale. Now they're hooked. They just joined, they just read your welcome email. And another thing, one thing that is known is that people buy after 8 touches or more with the business. Which means if you just came up, if you just found out about my YouTube channel, okay? Just find out now. And that's one touch that you had with me, one touch point. If you then comment and I reply to you, that's 2 touch points. If you join my email list and I send you the welcome email, that's 3. And my goal, if I want to get you to the sale as fast as possible, my goal is to get you to 8 touch points with me in the least amount of time possible. So if I can send you 4 emails in one day and you read all of them because you want to read them, I'm getting you halfway through the sale already and you don't even know it. So that is what I want to do. That's why I like this idea of the parallel welcome sequence. When you can add a button down here or something, yeah, I didn't put it here, but there's got to be a button. I didn't put it here, it's on Google Docs. And people can click it, and we trigger the automation on Klaviyo or whatever ESP you use, and we send them already the second email. And then at the end of the second email, they're going to have the chance to click again, travel 24 hours in time, and receive the other email. And the way I've put it here is simply, instead of sending you the boring welcome, I just put together the past 5 emails I've sent to my email sequence, to my email list, and I've put it in a sequence. So they know it's not real, like it's not emails in real time, but they feel like, all right, I want to catch up with what he sent last week. I think that's a good angle. So yeah, this is the welcome email. As you can see, pretty original. Don't see many like this, and it sets the expectations and everything right for the next email. So now, email number 2. What do I like to do with these other emails? Because the welcome email is something aside, but with the other emails, what I like to do is still getting them to know me in a more emotional level. So what I'm not going to do here is I'm not going to send an email saying, here are the top 4 copywriting tips, and you tell them some boring ass 4 tips. That is not gonna get a connection between me and the reader. That is not what I want to do in the welcome sequence. What I want to do in the welcome sequence is literally create a relationship, an emotional connection between me and this person that just signed up. So I'm not gonna send them boring ass guides on how to write copy in a little more persuasive way, 4 tips for your headings. No. I'm gonna send them stories, which is something I've been working a lot on lately. Stories sell a lot, especially in the welcome email, because this is where they want to get you. Even though up here I said get to know me boring email sequence, they still want to get to know you. If they just signed up for your emails, they want to get to know you, and so we're gonna write some stories. So let's start with the first one. I slept with cockroaches for 2 months. Okay, you don't hear that very often, so that's why you're gonna open it 100%. Now, hey, first thing, imagine you spent all your money on a trip to Thailand after a 21-hour long-ass flight. I say long-ass a lot lately, or boring-ass, I don't know why I do that, but after a 24-hour long-ass flight, you get to the airport, grab a taxi, and finally arrive at the place where you live for the next 2 months. You're so excited for this adventure, but when you open the door, 3 cockroaches the size of a mouth crawl on your feet. Notice how visual it is, okay? You get to the airport, he follows the sequence like they follow with you. Grab a taxi, arrive at the place, they can imagine the taxi going to the place. You're so excited, they can see the excitement, and they can picture 3 cockroaches the size of a mouse crawling on your feet. Well, that's what happened to me. It sucked. All that money, $300 a month was a lot back then. Here is something very personal, explaining that I also was in their situation, so this creates a better connection. For a 1-bedroom apartment with no windows and infested by cockroaches, I was Yeah, here I didn't finish it. I need to talk about how I was feeling. I was so tired and stressed, stuff like that. Okay, this is not 100% finished. So how did I fix it? Number one, Operation Lockdown. I took some duct tape and closed the entire kitchen. Here's what it looked like once I was done. Bam. If I wanted to solve the problem, I had to sacrifice. This is a true story, by the way. That's why the picture is so powerful. And notice how I didn't give this a boring name. I didn't call it, how did I fix it? Number one, I duct taped the kitchen. I closed the kitchen. Like, people are like, what? That's so boring. No. Number one, Operation Lockdown. People think, what the hell is Operation Lockdown? Well, read it and you'll know. Okay? Now, step number two, blind the cockroach. I read online that cockroaches generally come out at night, so I kept the lights on all day and all night. Yes, I slept with the lights on for 2 months. And boom, problem solved. Now I know what you're thinking. Why the fuck are you sending me an email about cockroaches? Well, very simple. It's deeper than that. Looking back, I realized that there's a big similarity between how I dealt with the cockroaches and the way to scale fast in life. So here is a story that goes into a message, a lesson that I learned. Number one, I had to make a choice. If I wanted to solve the problem, I had to make a drastic choice. Taping the entire kitchen. In life, that could be cutting out video games and Netflix, uninstalling TikTok, and replacing them with buying a course, hiring a mentor, moving to a different country. If you want to change your life around fast, the first step is to make a drastic choice. 2, long-term repeated struggle. Just changing one thing in your life is not enough. You're gonna have to struggle daily for a long time. The same way, after I tipped up the kitchen, I still had to sleep with the lights on. You're gonna have to work hard every single day, regardless of how much it sucks. And now here, the reason why I see emails, every email has a purpose. It should get the person closer to the sale. I don't care what you're selling, it needs to get them to take an action. So when it comes to that, I really don't care. I'm gonna put my course anywhere, my program, my products, because I don't care. They're getting free value, people are getting free value, and the goal of an email, if I get them all the way here, is now I want them to take another action. Now you might say, the action you should get them to take is read the next email. And that is fine, but I also care, in this case, I think, adding the course or adding my program fits. So that's why I put it. So here I close with first name. At the end of the day, we all have cockroaches in our life. Not having enough money, working a shitty 9 to 5, being forced to go to college. This is obviously my avatar, the average subscriber to my email list. And it's up to you whether you accept it or do something about it. If you accept it, not gonna lie, you've just wasted your time reading this email. But if you're ready to do something about it, you might want to see this. Very intriguing. What is it? You might want to see it. You're gonna click. And then, alright, PS, want the next email? You already know the drill. Click here to travel 24 hours in time, and we send the next email. Email number 3. What if I don't get my clients' results? This is another story, and it's a question that a lot of people have. A lot of my subscribers have. So that's why it gets always a good open rate. Subject line. It happened to me. Here's what I did. Look for something. Over the past 6 months, I've helped to generate over $1.5 million in sales for my clients. This builds some authority, which is something that I do want to build in my email sequence. Welcome sequence. But you need to know it's not always been like that. At the start of my copywriting career, for 3 months I was sending 3 emails a week for a tax and credit coach, and I didn't make any sales. This was my first $1,000 a month client, by the way. Well, long story short, we couldn't sell shit, and because I was a newbie, I didn't know if it was my fault or what. The open rate was high, 40% plus, and the click rate was also good, but we were not making sales. And as you can imagine, when you get paid $1,000 a month, you're expected to make at least $1,000 in sales. Well, I didn't. So eventually I stopped working with this client, but I had a question bugging me. Is my copy shit? Now, over 1 year later, I realized what went wrong, so let me tell you. The list was not properly segmented. I discovered 50% of the email list were clients of a different business which had nothing to do with our products. Such a stupid thing to do, but nothing I could do about it. Number 2. There wasn't a need for those offers. My client was pushing out courses and programs that nobody wanted. She wasn't thinking about what people wanted or needed, but what she would have liked to sell. That's not how you build a profitable offer, and that was out of my control, so I couldn't do anything about that either. And 3, my copy could have been better. It's easy to say, yeah, my client was shit, it's not my fault. But the reality is that I could have still done better. So I worked hard on my copy for the next few months, which helped me landing clients with ease and made over 7 figures in the first half of 2024 alone. Again, building some authority with a story, right? We went from terrible situation, not making sales, getting paid, blah blah blah, blah to boom, dream outcome. And the money I made them, and the more money I made them, the more referrals they would send my way. That's the ultimate proof that if your copy is good, you'll eventually land clients faster, get them results, and make a lot of money yourself. And that's why I pay a copy chief to review my students' copy daily and give them actionable advice on what to improve. And there's no other program out there at this price offering a similar service. Maybe more than service, I would say feature. So if you, at this price, with a similar feature. So if you want to get results for your clients, click here and learn how to write copy that sells and how to find people who will pay you thousands of dollars a month for it. Good? And it just funnels into it. And people won't mind because there's still like a lot of value. They're still getting to connect with me. They still want to read the next email, the next story. They did like these 2 stories. They like them. So now they want to get the next one. And they related to them. I built some authority now. Now last part is going to be another side of my personality. And in this case, I also introduced the faith that I have in Jesus Christ. So that's going to be what I also added to my 4th email. Okay, so let's start with it. I went from $1,300 a month to $4,500 a month in 6 days. True story. Another story. As you can see, it's another story. Starts with the story, going to the message, going to the call to action. This works. Hey, first name. Have you ever heard of someone 4x his income in less than a week? It sounds almost unreal when you think that people in a 9 to 5 a lot of times work their asses off for years before getting a small promotion. But that's not how it works in entrepreneurship, and certainly not in copywriting. Now, when you hear, have you ever heard of someone 4x his income in less than a week? You're like, no. Is it possible? I want to read more. So that's why the hook works. You see, I got into 2024 with 2 retainers paying me one $800 a month and one $500 a month to write and send out emails to their newsletters. A couple of weeks later, I received a DM out of the blue. Hey man, I'm looking for a copywriter. At the time, I had about 300 fake followers on Instagram and no posts. So to this day, I don't know how it. So to this day, I don't know how it happened. All I know is that until that point, I only had experience with emails, and the guy wanted me to write ad scripts for him. I boldly charged him $150 for one script, and to my surprise, he liked it. So the next day, we hopped on a call to see how to move forward. Hey man, how you doing? All good, bro. I like the scripts you wrote yesterday. I want 4 of them a week. I was speechless. Because it was a big order, I lowered the price to $100 a script, and boom, $1,600 a month right there, baby. But here comes the best part. 5 days later, we hopped on another call to go over a few more scripts, and bro says, I have a friend who also needs ad scripts. Could you handle another 4 a week? Hell yeah, I can. Another 1.6K right there. And just like that, I went from 1.3K a month to 4.5K a month in 6 days. That's how I got into ad scripts in the first place, and I have to say, I became pretty darn good at it. My ads have helped to generate over $1.5 million in the first half of 2024, making me over $15,000 in profit, and still counting. Looking back at how all this played out, I truly believe only God could have made this happen, and for me, it just confirmed one of the quotes I live by. God will steer, but he won't row. I put in the work and do my best every single day, and I have 100% faith that God has my back and will steer me in the right direction. So don't care what situation you're in right now, keep working hard and have faith. Everything could change in a matter of days. Talk soon. So here, I put a lesson, and it's important that when they get to know me, they know to me, it's an important trait of my email list, of my business, is that I'm Christian. So I have no problem in putting something about Christianity or about God here, because that's something I actually believe in. So a lot of people try to fake these welcome emails, welcome sequence. Just be yourself. Be yourself, say cool stories in a cool way, and they're going to make sales. And then PS, if you want to learn the exact framework I use to consistently write 6-figure ads and how to get paid thousands of dollars for it, you should probably check this out. And you already know what that is. So yeah, this is the welcome sequence. Make sales. It's entertaining. People can skip through it with the button, and it's just a good welcome sequence. Now, what is my advice that what is the thing that I want you to get out of this? Now, if you write for personal brands, I think you should literally take this, paste paste the framework and edit and use for your client or for your personal brand. If you do this for e-commerce brands, I still think there should be some stories in the welcome sequence because they're so powerful and they get to actually connect closely with the person. Now, I don't know about a parallel welcome sequence for the e-commerce brand, but I don't see why it wouldn't work, right? So you might want to also test it out if you think that's a good idea. And yeah, appreciate you being here. Very raw video, very straight to the point. I hope you appreciate that. And if you do, please let me know down here in the description, and I'll see you in the next banger. Bye.